Are you tired of being gaslit into thinking you're overreacting? Are you tired of everyone saying that you take everything way too seriously? Well, do I have the perfect subreddit for you to post in, r/AmIOverreacting. Today, I'm going to go over some posts from the specific subreddit. I found this one truly interesting because a lot of them are not overreacting and the world is just filled with a bunch of a-holes. So, without any further introduction, let's get right into it. First post, am I overreacting for splitting the bill on a date? I am in such shock right now. For some context, this was our 4th date. Literally at a loss for words. This was the first time putting myself out there since I caught my last girlfriend cheating on me. I think I'm done with relationships after this. Ooh, let's get into it. Hey, I had a fun time yesterday. Oh, haha, question mark. I thought we had a good time. I did. I just didn't like the idea of splitting the bill. Why? It was your idea. I didn't think you would actually do it. I told you about how I like a man who can provide. Us splitting the bill made me take your career and other things into consideration. I'm sorry, but I think I deserve better. Don't get me wrong, you are a great guy, just not for me. Oh, okay. I think this is possibly the dumbest thing I've heard, but it is what it is, I guess. LOL, okay. Good luck finding anybody with your minimum wage salary. You are a joke. Wow, who knew you were a massive have fun never getting the guy you're looking for because you are a piece of wow. Oh my god. Okay, let's go over this. So it seems like they went on a date and the girl suggested that they split the bill, and in actuality she was really kidding. She didn't want to split the bill. Ooh, wow. Personally, I think everybody has their preference, okay? I will say this. There are women that fully want you to take care of them, to provide. There's some that want to go 50-50, and I think this is something you need to find out in the beginning of the relationship. And I think right here you did, buddy. Okay, ladies, I know we have all been in this situation. We're out on a date or just out with a guy. The check comes. They put it down on the table. You look at him and you go, do you want me to help with that? When in actuality, you do not want to help with that. And I think that's what happened here. If he is not what you're looking for and you don't want to go 50-50 with a man, just go your separate ways, say you're not feeling it, and go on with your life. My advice to you, just move on. Just cut communication, move on. Am I overreacting? This guy has been talking/flirting with me for 3 months and showing interest in being in a relationship with me, all while being in a relationship with someone else. I found out and confronted him about it and messaged his girlfriend proof. Was I wrong for messaging her? He said he only saw her once in 5 months because he is in the military and in a long distance relationship with her. Before we get into this, you should never take notes. You should never get involved in anyone else's relationship. You should never tell a friend that you know their significant other is cheating. You should never get involved with anything like this, because you know what? Because 9 out of 10 times they're just gonna get back together and then you're gonna be looked at like you're the asshole. You're the one that was in the wrong for telling them what happened. Anyway, let's get into the post. First of all, looks like these messages were done on Snapchat, which is the biggest app of all cheaters. So if anyone ever asks you for a Snapchat, they're a cheater, especially if it's a man. If you're a man over the age of 20 years old, why do you have a Snapchat? Because you're a cheater. That's why. That's the only reason. No, it isn't meaningless. To you it is, maybe. You can assume the worst. You can feel like I'm absolutely evil. If that would make the situation easier for you, then honestly, I'd prefer you do. I think it'd be easier on my pride and easier for you to explain it as I'm just a piece of shit if I just said I wanted you as a side piece or some shit. But that wouldn't be true. Nothing I said about how I feel about you was dishonest, whether you believe it or not. I felt I was doing the best I could to protect emotions in a shitty situation, even if it made me feel like a piece of shit in the process. I hate that it led you to getting hurt. Cool, so what's your explanation? You want one? Sure, let's hear it. I'm with someone who I know I don't want to marry, but I also care deeply for and do not want to hurt. To say this person is dependent on me would be a massive understatement. Ultimately, I know I have to move on, but want to do so, causing as little damage as possible. Then, I meet someone who I come to be very deeply attracted to, and who I feel respect for and compatibility with that I've never felt before. And I have no fucking clue how to deal with both of those things at the same time. The trip to LA was to see a band, which is the favorite of her and my brother, so I flew both of them out to come see it. The trip was planned and scheduled far before I had ever even met you. No, I would never have legitimately planned to see you before before taking care of that relationship, which I knew would be at the very least be after I had at least given her that one trip. Immediately after that trip is also when you started to hate me. That's not a defense of what I did. I understand that, especially to you. No, I've seen her once in the past 5 months, but I have not officially ended the relationship, and everything I told you about why I wasn't happy is true. As I figured, you understand that's cheating, right? If you want to simplify it to that, there's no simplifying. That's literally what it is. You should really figure something out and tell her, like, right now, or I will. No one deserves to be cheated on, no matter how the shitty the situation is. I know, and you're right. I'm figuring it out. I just want to hurt her as little as possible. I'm sorry you're mixed up on it. Like I said, you should not get yourself involved, but if you do feel like you have to get yourself involved, it's really just not your place. And I don't think you should be messaging this man any further. It looks like once you figure it out, you're trying to get him to admit to why he was doing it. If you want to send over those messages to his girlfriend, go right ahead, but I'm just letting you know now, it's not your place. What you should have done is just block him. Just cut off contact and block him. Because you talking to him right now, I think you've done way more talking than you should have after figuring out that he has a girlfriend. Because honestly, he has nothing to explain to you. He said he's in the military, so I'm sure he's like out on leave. He's basically looking for a pen pal right now. And I can guarantee that she doesn't message him enough, or he's just not getting enough out of her, that he's looking for another girl to talk to throughout the day. He's looking for a free therapist, and you're still giving him that by talking to him right now after you found out that he has a girlfriend. So what I think you should do is you should cut off communication and you should block him. Am I overreacting? I found sexual texts on my wife's phone between her and a coworker. Oh my god. I, 32 male, have been married to my wife, 32 female, for 5 years. We have a 4-year-old child together. Today I asked my wife if I could use her phone to find shipping details on an item she ordered. She was a little hesitant to hand it over and appeared she had a new passcode to enter her phone, but I didn't think much of it. I found the shipping information and took screenshots of it so I could send it to my phone. When I went to her text, the most recent text was a message she sent to a coworker. Let's call him Greg. It was a kissing emoji and a heart on fire emoji. When I opened it, she was replying to a picture of him without his shirt on. Ooh. She entered the room as I was looking at this and quickly grabbed her phone back. I thought for a second maybe I should pretend I didn't see anything and try to figure out more about their conversation. But I couldn't. I asked her, "What is this?" She said it's nothing. She refused to show me their conversations. She said it would just hurt my feelings. I told her we're done. I want a divorce. My gut was telling me there's a lot more going on than what I saw. She denies that they're sleeping together. Later that afternoon, I looked at our cell phone usage records to see how much she's been talking with him. I noticed when I saw the text on her phone, it was from late the night before, but that did not appear on our phone records. Don't know why. Maybe once she deleted them, they do not appear, but I did see a phone call she received that day, a couple hours after the situation. He called her for 22 minutes. I asked her later that day, "Have you spoken to Greg today?" She said no. I told her the proof I had and she didn't respond. I know she is lying, and I feel she is lying to me about their relationship. I also did some research and found Greg's Facebook. He's married, been married for 20 years, and has 4 kids, and is 10 years older than us. When I was little, my parents went through an ugly divorce that really affected me. Her parents are still together. I don't think she realizes the magnitude of the situation. I told her I plan on moving out with our son. We currently rent a house. I do drop off and pick up my son at school already. She didn't disagree with me. I believe she thinks this will blow over and we'll get past it. She thinks I'm overreacting and says that it was nothing. My gut is telling me otherwise. If it was nothing, she would show me all of the texts and not lie to me about talking to him when I asked her. I am most concerned for my son. I do not want this to affect him like it did to me when I was young. I did not yell at her, but there is tension between us. I feel bad for him. Oh, and there's an update. First thing I did today was go to a bank and opened up a checking account in my name. I also set up a consultation appointment for tomorrow with an attorney. I'm also working on breaking our lease and moving out with my son and our dogs. I'm looking at a place this Friday. I still pressed her to see the message and she told me she deleted them. I'm looking into ways to access them. I told her if I can't recover the messages and show me, I will be telling his wife about the situation. When I speak with the attorney tomorrow, I'll ask his advice on what to do. She says she's on board with me being the primary caregiver and seeing our son every other weekend and the 2 days she's off during the week. I learned today in North Carolina you need to be separated for a year before divorce. So that's our plan. If I can agree on a parenting plan, we can file for divorce a year after the separation. Not only does she not give a fuck about your marriage, she doesn't care about seeing your son. Clearly, there's more going on here than you know. And I'm assuming that you don't want to dig deeper into this and you're just already settled on the divorce, which I completely understand. But me, I would need to know the whole story of this. Obviously, she's not just texting him and reacting to shirtless photos. If my significant other was sending that type of message, I would literally go ballistic. Oh my God. What are they talking about on the phone for 22 minutes? I think the situation is different from the last story. The last story seemed like it was just more younger people in relationships, but this being two marriages where kids are involved, I think that is a point where you can bring it up to the other person's significant other that they're cheating on with the evidence and bring them both down, especially that there's children involved and you guys have a child and they have 4 children. The fact that she doesn't care about being the primary caregiver and is okay with only seeing her son every 2 weeks, that is completely bizarre and just gives me a whole overview of what her parenting is like and how she feels about you and your son. I'm so sorry and I do feel terrible about this. I really hope that everything works out and I hope that you're able to move on. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any opinions you want to share about any of the stories I read today, please make sure to leave them in the comment section and I'll make sure to get back to you. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!